The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just outright crushed the Kansas City Chiefs 38-9. And even though I'm not surprised the Buccaneers won and I expected the Buccaneers to win, I got to be honest, I didn't believe it was going to be that by that margin. Why that happened is for another vlog. But what I want to point out is that I've said this again and again and again. Last week, and just even before last week, I pointed out that, and I was the first media person to point out, and the only person to consistently repeat the fact that Byron Leftwich and the offensive coordinator for the Bucs and Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, were the first African Americans to serve as offensive coordinators for opposing teams in a Super Bowl ever in history. And this is the 55th year of the Super Bowl. But the Buccaneers staff gets the unknown award, but should be known, particularly as this is Black History Month, for being the most diverse, racially and sexually, staff in NFL history ever to win a Super Bowl game. Not just the coordinators, Byron Leftwich, aforementioned offensive coordinator, and Todd Bowles, who deserves a mini Lombardi trophy of his own for the defensive game plan he put together to smother the Kansas City Chiefs offense. In fact, head coach Bruce Arians in the interview today said that Todd was particularly offended that, in my words, not Arians, that the Chiefs did so well last time and was determined to make their offense said to be unstoppable, stoppable. He did. But it wasn't just Bowles on the defensive side. It was also people like linebacker coach Mike Caldwell, Lori Locust for the defensive line, Marjal Sandafal, strength and conditioning, and let's not forget the man who has followed Bruce Arians for much of his career, Harold Goodwin, who is the assistant head coach and running game coordinator. There's also others like Antoine Randall L., who you would say, wasn't he a Steelers wide receiver? Yes, he's also a Buccaneers coach. And Todd McNair, the running backs coach, that all the running backs, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones II, all point to as being the difference maker in how well they did this season. All the coaches I mentioned are either black or female. And you can't, at this point, look at another NFL organization and say that. But it shouldn't be that way. The reason why the Buccaneers won, the unspoken reason, is this was a collection of coaches that had been passed over, not got their chance, never got an interview in Harold Goodwin's case for head coach, even though he had been assistant head coach for many years, or some years, and were all eager to prove that they were the best. That's what happens when you keep good people down. You can't keep them down for long. And at some point, the cream definitely rises to the top. And that's what happened with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Every time I talk about this, I think about my friend Dr. Jen Welter. She was the NFL's first female coach with the Arizona Cardinals. And she's still applying her trade, still teaching, but she's not officially in the NFL. She should be. I think about my other longtime friend, former Oakland Raiders CEO, Amy Trask, who's now an analyst on CBS. Amy should be at least given the offer to be a team president on some NFL organization. Why? There's some team presidents that they might know the business side of the ledger of the NFL team, but they don't know the football side. That's right. There are team presidents who, by their own admission, don't know the football side. Amy knows the football side. Okay? And we talk about Eric Bieniemy, who should have been interviewed. Discount his performance this time because, look, Todd Bowles was determined to competitively turn a bad game plan turned in the previous time they met and transform it into a different approach that produced magnificent results. Now, arguably, it's Bieniemy's turn. But the bottom line is, it should not cloud Bieniemy's opportunities to get a head coaching job, and it should increase Byron Leftwich, Todd Bowles, and others' opportunities within the National Football League. You know, we have an acute problem here. Because of racism, we have a great many number of African Americans who are well qualified, in fact, overqualified for the positions they have now in all walks of life. They're kept down because of racism. Even the statistics will tell you that among the unemployed, the number of blacks who have college educations is staggering. The percentage is staggering. That's got to end. It means that you're leaving the best and the brightest right out there without work. And if you think you're hiring the best who are not black, who are white, for example, then riddle me how we get such things as, well, the Challenger accident and all the other major engineering disasters that were supposedly done by those we were told were the best and the brightest just because they, looked the part. No, it's got to stop. It's got to stop now. Indeed, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Glazer family, who are to be more than credited for bringing in Bruce Arians and allowing him to form such a staff, did say, with their actions, this stops now. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com.